mostly depends on the data. We can prepare policy, we can use checklist, we can standardize our process, we can use some clinical pathway guidelines. These are all existing things. But data collection and data conversion, what are the tools we can use to convert our data? So still there is no clear awareness about data collection and data conversion, also data-driven culture. So why we need to focus on data-driven culture? What is the purpose of data? And what are the tools we can use to convert our data into information? So these are things we are going to review from this webinar. So let's see what are things we are going to review from this. We'll see the importance of data, importance of data-driven culture. Also, we'll see the importance of statistics. What are the tools we can use to convert our data into information? And what is data-driven decision-making process? So we'll see the features from each one. Why data is important in healthcare? Why we need to collect highly reliable data? We can use EMR for data collection, for data retrieval. We can invest huge money for EMR. But what is the purpose of EMR? Is it possible to convert your data into information with the help of EMR? The purpose of EMR just to collect data, just to manage your data. It is one of the database. It doesn't give any information. But if you want to convert your data into information, we should use some problem-solving tool, like statistical tool, mathematical tools. Especially we should use some mathematical formula. We cannot use just a graphical representation. If you want to convert your data into information, we should use some mathematical formula for our analysis. Not just a bar chart or pie chart or Pareto chart. You know, what is the purpose of graphical representation? Just to understand your process. If you present your data by graph, we can able to see the pattern. What kind of pattern in the process? Is there any abnormal pattern in the process? Is there any non-random pattern? So these are all we can able to check from our graphical representations. If we maintain proper data, if we collect highly reliable data, definitely we can able to maintain quality in our clinical setting. Data allows clinicians and hospital staff to make informed decisions to improve quality of care. Even as a physician, you know, CPHQ not only for quality professional, even CPPS not only for quality professional. This is one of the important certificate for each and every healthcare professionals. As a physician, if you want to know how to improve clinical quality, how to reduce mortality, how to reduce patient complaint, how to increase patient satisfaction. These are all we can able to know the standards from CPHQ and CPPS. The purpose of data collection and data analysis not to show in front of JC people, not to collect any certificate. This is to maintain standard in clinical area. Even as a physician, if we maintain data, if we collect highly reliable data, we can able to do more research. We can able to convert our practice as research. And if you do more research, we can able to know the evidence-based practice. Only from data-driven culture, we can able to establish evidence-based practice. Especially in healthcare, we need to follow evidence-based practice. As a physician, we need to know what is evidence-based practice. From which one we can able to know the evidence-based practice? Only from research. So as a physician, if we focus on only treatment, if there is no research, if there is no awareness about data management, then how can we provide best treatment to our patients? How can we provide solution to our community? How can we satisfy our patients? How can we reduce expenditure? It's all depends on the data, because data is the evidence. And especially for quality, data management and data conversion play a very important role. Because policy, procedure, checklist, simulation training, providing education, these are all old style, existing model. But what is the new model? 7 basic quality tools was developed by Dr. Ishikawa in 1941. But how can we use still 7 basic quality tools in quality? Why there is no update? What is the purpose of EMR? Even as per JCA, now we need to implement EMR. No more paper. For patient safety, EMR is mandatory. Electronic medical record is mandatory. What is the purpose of EMR? To generate data. To know all data in a single window. To reduce mistakes in the data. To see the patient progress. To predict. Even with the help of EMR, with the help of data management, we can able to predict what will happen for the patients after 2 years, after 3 years. So we can go for machine learning. We can use artificial intelligence. We can do big data analytics. These are all the future from data-driven culture. There is huge demand for big data analytics, machine learning, artificial intelligence. What is this machine learning, business intelligence? These are all data analytics, data-driven culture. Especially in healthcare, we can able to collect many data. We can collect data from radiology. We can collect data from emergency, from OPD, from inpatient, from laboratory, from employee health center. What is the action after data collection? Yes, we can use EMR to collect all data, but what is the action? What are the tools you are going to use to convert your data into information? Even after converting information, what is your action plan? Is there any action plan for your information? Is there any change in your process after data collection? So if you want to maintain quality in clinical practice, even if you want to ensure patient safety, now data-driven culture is more important. We cannot just collect data just to show in front of JC people. The purpose of data collection not to get certificate from accreditation agency. This is to improve our process. This is to improve our system. This is to engage our customers. Without evidence, How can we engage our customers? Customers, not only patients, even employees. So these are all we can able to get from data-driven culture. So let's see why data-driven culture is more important. A data-driven culture encourages organizations to make decisions using reliable data. Data interpretation and critical thinking are necessary for any business. This is not only for healthcare, for any business. If you want to become highly reliable organization, if you want to become best hospital in your area, and if you need certificate from NABH or JCA, focus on data. Try to maintain highly reliable data. The quality of data is more important. The problem not in statistics. We can use many statistical software for data analysis. There is no problem in statistics. The problem in quality of data. Is it possible to collect reliable data in your hospital? What is the level of data-driven culture in your hospital? What about your decision-making process? Is it based on data? If there is no relationship between the decision-making process and data, then what is the purpose of data collection? So for highly reliable organization, data-driven culture, data management is more important. We'll see one important message from a research article. In a 2018 IDC study, noted that organizations have invested trillions of dollars to modernize their business. Trillions of dollars, especially for database, EMR, database software. People are spending huge money for database, but only 70% of this initiative fail. 70% of this initiative fail. Only 30% succeed. What is the reason? There is no proper data conversion. There is no data-driven culture. There is no decision-making process based on data. There is no action based on your data. Even if you conduct RCA without data, how can we improve our process? Even if you conduct FMA without data, without quantitative data, how can we improve our process? So what is the message from this research? If you want to become highly reliable hospital, best hospital, or if you want to do best in your business, focus on your data. Understand your patient expectation through data collection. Evidence-based approach. Let's see one more message from another research article. Without our visual analytics solution, we would be stuck analyzing enormous amounts of data in spreadsheet. Instead, our dashboard provides clear, actionable insights that drive the business forward. If you maintain data in MS Office Excel or in EMR without conversion, without analysis, without action, what is the use? At least we can show by dashboard. We can use some, there is specialized software for dashboard. We can use some software for dashboard like Power BI, Tableau. These are all specialized software for dashboard. At least we can convert our data by dashboard. You know, the purpose of dashboard, we can able to know what is going on in the process. As a leader, if you want to know the performance of your process, at least we can prepare dashboard. So one of the best software for the preparation of dashboard, Power BI, we can use. Even Power BI we can use to visualize the whole hospital data, not only for quality. You know, in emergency, we can able to collect many data. The diagnosis for each and every patient. So what is the gender? What is their age? What is their vital sign? The waiting time. If you want to visualize the whole data in a single sheet, we can use dashboard. But after preparation of dashboard, if there is no action, if there is no support from your top management, if there is no improvement, then what is the purpose of EMR and dashboard? Probably we can show in front of JCA people, that's all. Even if you collect data through incident report, we should know what are the tools we can use to analyze our incident report data. Incident reporting is one of the main source for risk identification. For risk identification, we can collect data from incident report, from our incident report. But as a risk management manager, we should know what are the tools we can use to convert our data into information. Is it possible to use just a bar chart for all incident reporting? Is it possible to use just a pie chart to visualize your incident report data? No. Because bar chart, pie chart, these are all just to show distribution. It doesn't give the root cause. It is not possible to know the most frequent problem. It doesn't give any solution to your problem. So go for some advanced, latest method. Try to use some latest method. And after analyzing your data, after converting the information, prepare corrective action plan. Implement. After implementation, evaluate. What is the change in the process? So this is what we need to do for data-driven culture. I'm sure definitely from CPHQ and CPPS, we can able to know how to manage data, how to collect data, what are the tools we can use to collect data, the sources, what are the different sources for data collection, what are the statistical tool we can use to analyze our data, and how to prepare action plan, how to get approval from our top management. And after implementation of action plan, how to evaluate, which tool we can use for evaluation. So these are all we can able to get from CPHQ and CPPS. There is no doubt. You know, the number of CPHQ and CPPS in America, almost 2 for each hospital. 2 professional guard CPHQ. As per American statistics, what they mentioned in their statistics report, at least 2 healthcare quality professional guard CPHQ or CPPS in America. What is the scenario from India? From the whole country, only 1 person got CPHQ. This is not only from Tamil Nadu, not only from Delhi. For the whole country, just only 1 person got CPPS. And just only 24 got CPHQ. Why it is like this? As per JCS standard, the staffing is more important, especially the nurses and patient. What is the staffing for nurses and patient ICU? 1:1. Why we need to maintain staffing? Why we need to follow the standard? To maintain patient safety, to reduce mortality, to reduce infection, especially in ICU. So this is one of the safety requirement. But how can we provide patient safety without patient safety professional? Without the guideline, without understanding the standard, how can we? If you use just bar chart to analyze your performance indicator, how can we improve quality? See the condition. Just only 1% got CPPS in India. Still, there is no proper database regarding patient safety in India. Not only from India, from most of the country. These are all lack of awareness. Yes. So what are the steps we need to follow for data-driven culture? As a data analyst, as a quality professional, as a physician, what are the things we need to follow for data-driven culture? Identify your business objective. As a nurse, we should know what is our policy and procedure, what are the performance indicators for nursing practice. We should know, each and every nurse should know the list of performance indicator for nursing practice. And we should know the formula. This is not only for quality professional. For quality improvement, which is the best approach? Multidisciplinary approach. We cannot recommend interdisciplinary approach. So multidisciplinary means we need people from nursing department, quality, risk management, emergency, radiology, laboratory, from top management, from HR. We need people from each specialty. Then only we can able to know the exact problem. So identify your business objective. Survey business teams for key source of data. If you know the objectives, what is the next step we need to know? Source. From where we can able to collect data. Is it possible to collect data from EMR? What is the exact source? Is it from EMR or from department logbook or from quality department or from incident reporting? What is the exact source? Then collect your data. And classify your data. And validate your data. Data validation is more important. After validation, if there is no problem in your data, then view and explore data. View means just present your data by graphical representation. Because from graphical representation, we can able to identify the pattern. We can able to see the type of distribution. We can able to see the variation. Based on this, we can able to choose some statistical tool for analysis. Explore data. Explore means analyze your data. We should use some statistical formula, not just a Pareto chart, bar chart, fishbone diagram. Please don't use any graphical representation for root cause analysis. Graphical representation we can use just to understand your process, just to know what is going on in your process. But how can we know the root cause from graphical representation? Then develop insight. We should learn from our data, interpret your data, learn from your data, then act. Act on your data. If there is positive things, If you got any positive things, what we need to do as a healthcare quality profession, we should share to our employees. Sharing is the best culture for quality improvement. So these are all we can do to maintain data-driven culture. Yes. I'm sure definitely from CPHQ and CPPS, we can able to know the importance of statistics, not just only graphical representation, not just basic 7 quality tools. We can able to know some advanced things. Mathematical formula. So what is my recommendation for data analysis? Don't use any graphical representation for your root cause analysis. We can use graph, nothing wrong. But this is the first step, just to understand your process. After graphical representation, we should use some mathematical formula. Because only from formula, we can able to reduce error in the analysis. We can able to know the covariate, the cofactor. So these are all the advantages from data-driven culture. So I hope you got some idea about data-driven culture. For patient safety, what are the cultures? What are the different type of culture we need to follow? Just culture, learning culture, supporting culture. These are all we can follow to ensure patient safety. But what is my recommendation? What is the recommendation from Rishi? This is the right time to focus on data. Because now healthcare is a complex system. Too many infection, too many technology, too many new drugs, too much of expectation from our patients, too much of competition, too much of challenges for healthcare system. Now we cannot focus just policy and procedure. We cannot use just checklists to maintain quality. No. Collect data. Not just data, reliable data, high quality data. Collect high quality data and validate your data, convert your data into information with the help of statistical techniques, then prepare action plan and implement. This is what we need to do to improve quality and patient safety. So this is the message from this webinar.